kooky, and it seems like they're just leaning into it. Like there's no course correction at all. Just leaning into the kooky.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Sean Diddy Combs. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Do you like being scared?
Did you know that some of Hollywood's biggest names are quietly slipping away from the spotlight, leaving the country altogether? And no, it's not just for a relaxing vacation or to find themselves in Europe. It seems like the unfolding drama around Sean Diddy Combs has sent shockwaves so deep that even A-listers, once untouchable, are now scrambling to distance themselves from the fallout. But why? What's really going on behind the scenes? And who's next to pack their bags and disappear? Buckle up, this isn't just another celebrity scandal. This is a full-blown retreat from Hollywood as some of its brightest stars try to outrun the shadows of their past associations.
So I would imagine if you're the CIA, you're like, okay, we're looking for people who have gone through these things in their life that have curated this kind of like personality type.
Well, isn't it just like part of the gig? Like here's a for instance, like your bit about Puffy.
So first on the list is none other than Ellen DeGeneres. Yes, the once reigning queen of daytime television has reportedly fled to the UK. And she's not just laying low, she's practically unrecognizable. New photos of Ellen recently surfaced showing her in a cozy English pub with her wife, sporting a drastically different look. Gone is the clean-cut, polished persona we've come to know, replaced by a scruffy, almost incognito appearance. While Ellen claims the move is inspired by a desire to escape the political climate in the US, many believe there's something far more sinister at play. Her long-standing friendship with Diddy is raising eyebrows, especially now that his empire appears to be crumbling under the weight of serious allegations. People are asking, how much did Ellen really know? And more importantly, what might she be running from? Ellen and Diddy's relationship goes way back, and it wasn't just a casual acquaintance. He was a frequent guest on her show where he often joked about his over-the-top parties, while Ellen laughed along, seemingly unfazed or perhaps complicit in turning a blind eye. One particularly strange moment is now being revisited by fans. Back in 2016, Ellen gave Diddy a birthday shout-out on social media, listing all his famous nicknames Puffy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, but then added a bizarre one, Cuddle MC Snuggle Stuff. She concluded the post with a cryptic, "You don't need to know why." At the time, it was brushed off as harmless humor, but now people are wondering if it hinted at something darker, a private joke with far more layers than anyone realized.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well,
And while Ellen's professional life has already been tarnished by previous scandals, remember the countless stories from former staffers describing her as cold, controlling, and downright cruel. This new layer of controversy is hitting differently. Resurfaced clips from her show, like the infamous moment when Dakota Johnson called her out for lying about not being invited to a birthday party, are being replayed as evidence of her double-faced persona. "No, Ellen, that's not the truth," Dakota said bluntly, leaving the host visibly rattled. It's almost as if Ellen's carefully curated "be kind" mantra was always just a smokescreen. And now, with the Diddy scandal looming, that mask is slipping off entirely.
well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
But it doesn't stop there. Whispers about Ellen's personal life are adding more fuel to the fire. Allegations surrounding the untimely passing of two of her former romantic partners have resurfaced, with conspiracy theories suggesting they might have known too much about her connections in Hollywood, connections that allegedly included Diddy. And let's not forget the tragic case of Stephen Twitch Boss, Ellen's former DJ, whose sudden passing shocked everyone. According to some wild speculation online, Twitch may have stumbled upon something he wasn't supposed to see, perhaps tied to Diddy's notorious gatherings. Could Ellen's abrupt departure to the UK be an attempt to distance herself from these unresolved tragedies and their potential links to her old circle of friends?
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Adding to the intrigue, Ellen's move coincides with another high-profile departure, Oprah Winfrey. Yes, Oprah. The media mogul who once seemed untouchable has reportedly also left the country, citing dissatisfaction with the current political climate. But come on, does anyone really buy that? Oprah has always been deeply connected to the elite circles of Hollywood, including Diddy. And while she's known for her philanthropic efforts and inspirational brand, her past associations are starting to cast a long shadow. For years, rumors have swirled about Oprah attending Diddy's infamous parties. These were not your average Hollywood swires. They were exclusive, secretive, and, according to some insiders, downright unsettling.
Rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody. right?
That's the rumors. Yeah, I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
Oprah's ties to other controversial figures only deepen the mystery. Remember her close friendship with Harvey Weinstein? Photos of the two laughing and embracing at industry events are now being revisited with fresh outrage. How much did Oprah know about Weinstein's actions before the truth came out? And why didn't she use her platform to speak out sooner? Then there's the case of John of God, the Brazilian spiritual healer Oprah once endorsed as a miracle worker. Years later, he was exposed for heinous crimes, leaving Oprah's judgment and her willingness to promote questionable figures under scrutiny. And let's not forget the allegations of mistreatment at Oprah's South African girls' school, an institution she once described as her proudest achievement. While Oprah publicly addressed the issue and claimed to have taken swift action, critics argue that her response was too little, too late. As if that weren't enough, Oprah's sudden exit from the US is being linked to the ongoing rumors that she might be called in as part of the investigation into Diddy's inner circle. Some have even speculated that she might possess knowledge, perhaps even evidence about the activities at his infamous gatherings. For now, Oprah's team remains tight-lipped, but the timing of her departure is raising more questions than answers.
Of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers.
Meanwhile, Leonardo DiCaprio is making headlines for his own mysterious getaway. The actor, who's no stranger to controversy, has reportedly fled to Italy with his latest girlfriend. On the surface, it looks like just another glamorous European vacation, but the timing is raising suspicions. Leo's connection to Diddy goes way back to the height of their mutual fame in the 1990s. The two were often spotted together at high-profile events, and Leo was a regular at Diddy's legendary white parties. These weren't just casual appearances. Diddy once described Leo as his #1 invite, a title that carried significant weight in Hollywood's upper echelons.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
Photos and videos from those parties are now being scrutinized, with fans pointing out just how deeply Leo was embedded in Diddy's social world. And while his team claims he hasn't been in touch with Diddy for years, the timing of his trip to Italy suggests otherwise. Could Leo be trying to get ahead of the storm, distancing himself before any damaging revelations come to light? It wouldn't be the first time the actor has found himself in the middle of a scandal. Remember the global controversy surrounding the 1MDB fund. Leo was heavily criticized for his ties to Joe Low, the disgraced financier accused of embezzling billions. While Leo eventually returned gifts from Low, including a Picasso painting and Marlon Brando's Oscar, the incident left a stain on his reputation. Now, fans are wondering if his sudden escape to Italy is history repeating itself. And then there's Ashton Kutcher, who seems to be taking the concept of laying low to a whole new level. Reports suggest that Ashton and his wife, Mila Kunis, are planning to leave Hollywood altogether, possibly relocating to a quieter, less scrutinized part of the world. While Ashton's name might not immediately come to mind when thinking about Diddy's inner circle, the two share a surprising history. They first bonded over their work on MTV, where Ashton's show Punk and Diddy's various appearances made them frequent collaborators. Their relationship deepened when they ran the New York City Marathon together in 2003, and Ashton became a regular fixture at Diddy's parties. Old clips of Ashton discussing his time with Diddy are now resurfacing, adding a layer of awkwardness to his current situation. In one particularly telling interview, Ashton seemed visibly uncomfortable when asked about Diddy's infamous gatherings, laughing nervously and deflecting the question. "I've got a lot of stories," he said before quickly adding, "but I can't tell any of them." Fans are now dissecting his every word, wondering what exactly he was trying to hide.
Speak with impunity about the Illuminati because I know who you would have to be in order for what I'm saying to bother you, #1.
Right.
#2, I know your big secret. I know that you're not the Illuminati, I am. So...
Ashton's decision to leave Hollywood also comes on the heels of another controversy: his public support for Danny Masterson, his former co-star who faced serious legal troubles. The backlash from that incident forced Ashton to step down from his own charity organization, Thorn, which focuses on protecting vulnerable individuals. Now, with his ties to Diddy being called into question, Ashton's retreat from the spotlight is looking less like a coincidence and more like a calculated move.
Listen, y'all, I understand that these girls are of age, but this is just disgusting to me. It feels very predatory to me.
The internet has been relentless in its criticism of these celebrities, with fans accusing them of running away rather than taking accountability for their past associations. One particularly scathing comment summed it up: "They're not moving, they're hiding. Americans don't want you here, Ellen. Take Oprah, Leo, and Ashton with you. We're done with the lies." Another commenter pointed out the eerie pattern among these stars, saying, "Funny how they all had no problem showing up to Diddy's parties, but now they're scattering like cockroaches." As Hollywood braces for the next wave of revelations, one thing is clear: the fallout from Diddy's scandal isn't just about him. It's about the entire ecosystem of power, privilege, and secrecy that allowed these behaviors to go unchecked for so long. And as these stars continue to flee, the question remains, what are they so desperate to leave behind? Could more names be revealed in the coming weeks? Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. And speaking of Diddy, let's dive into how his legal battle is unfolding and why prosecutors are determined to keep him behind bars. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the drama is only just beginning.
And that has nothing to do with him having this baby or him having this side girl for almost 15 years.
As the drama surrounding Sean Diddy Combs continues to spiral out of his control, the legal battle he now faces is shaping up to be one of the most high-profile cases in entertainment history. The stakes are sky high, not just for Diddy himself, but for the countless individuals tied to him, some willingly, others not so much, who might find themselves dragged into the spotlight as the investigation unfolds. With the courts repeatedly denying him bail, the justice system seems determined to make sure the once untouchable music mogul is held accountable for what prosecutors are calling a decades-long reign of abuse, intimidation, and manipulation. And the deeper you dig into the case, the more it becomes clear why authorities are pulling out all the stops to keep him behind bars.
Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment.
Let's not sugarcoat it, this is not your run-of-the-mill celebrity scandal. We're talking about charges so serious and so layered that they've led to not one, not two, but a string of bail denials, despite Diddy's legal team throwing everything they have at the court. And when we say everything, we mean it. His lawyers offered up a staggering $50 million in assets, including his Miami Beach mansion, in an attempt to secure his release. But the judge wasn't having it. The message from the court was loud and clear: no amount of money will buy you your freedom if the evidence suggests you're a danger to the public.
Charges are. I have information that he was arrested tonight at a Manhattan hotel. He is currently being processed. I heard from his attorney they are still maintaining his innocence. They said that in anticipation of these charges that Diddy relocated to New York.
And let's talk about the evidence. According to prosecutors, it's not just one or two isolated incidents that paint a troubling picture. It's a pattern of behavior spanning years, involving multiple individuals, and documented in ways that are hard to ignore. One of the most damning pieces of evidence is the infamous footage from 2016, showing Diddy in a heated altercation with his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura at a Los Angeles hotel. This video, which only surfaced recently, shows Diddy attacking Cassie in the hallway, grabbing, kicking, and even throwing objects at her. And while his defense team has tried to claim the footage was edited or manipulated, the courts aren't buying it. The judge flat out stated that even in the version submitted by the defense, the violence is undeniable. That's a powerful statement, and it's one that's likely to stick in the minds of jurors if this case goes to trial. But that's not all. Prosecutors have also presented text messages exchanged between Diddy and Cassie in the hours and days following the incident. In one message, Cassie reportedly wrote, "I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done." Another text reads, "I still have crazy bruising." These messages, combined with the video evidence, paint a picture of someone who not only acted out violently but also tried to downplay or justify his actions afterward. And let's be real, if this is just what's been made public, imagine what the prosecution has behind closed doors.
So Diddy, if you're just joining us here, was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York tonight. Sources tell TMZ Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him.
Now, here's where things get even more complicated. While Diddy's legal team has been working overtime to argue that he should be granted bail under strict conditions, home confinement, 24/7 security, and limited access to communication, the prosecution has been equally vocal about why that's a terrible idea. Their argument, Diddy cannot be trusted to play by the rules, and honestly, they might have a point. Reports have surfaced that Diddy has been using his time in jail to try and influence witnesses, a move that prosecutors are calling outright obstruction. Apparently, he's been making phone calls and sending messages to individuals connected to the case, allegedly attempting to sway their testimony or silence them altogether. And if that weren't enough, there are claims that he's been using other inmates' phone access codes to make it harder for authorities to monitor his communications. If true, this paints a picture of someone who's willing to go to great lengths to protect himself, even from behind bars.
Both sides in the Sean Diddy Combs case have until today to give answers for how the music mogul has been communicating from jail. Combs appearing in court last Friday seeking bail while he awaits trial. He's been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn since September.
And this is where the conspiracy theories start to heat up. Some people are speculating that the authorities are deliberately making Diddy's life difficult in jail, hoping to break him down mentally and emotionally. Why? To get him to talk. Let's not forget, Diddy isn't just facing charges related to his own alleged actions. He's also been hit with a racketeering charge, which means the government is looking at him as the head of a larger operation. Racketeering cases are notoriously tricky to prosecute because they require proving not just individual wrongdoing, but also a coordinated effort involving multiple people. And if Diddy is indeed at the top of this alleged pyramid, that means there are others below him, associates, enablers, and possibly even co-conspirators who could also face charges.
This is video of Diddy's family arriving to court for last Friday's hearing. Prosecutors arguing that he misused prison systems in an attempt to tamper with potential witnesses. And they say they have proof Diddy used other inmates' phone cards or used three-way calls with friends to contact associates that prosecutors consider to be a part.
Rumors are swirling that authorities are pressuring Diddy to name names, to spill the beans on everyone who helped him or benefited from his alleged activities. And let's be honest, if there's even a shred of truth to these rumors, it's no wonder some of Hollywood's biggest stars are suddenly going off the grid. If Diddy starts talking, it could be a domino effect, taking down not just the man himself, but an entire network of individuals who thought they were untouchable. That's why some people are saying the real reason Diddy's bail keeps getting denied isn't just about keeping him from fleeing, it's about keeping him alive. Yes, you heard that right. There's speculation that Diddy's own associates might see him as a liability now, someone who could potentially bring them down. And if that's the case, the safest place for him might actually be behind bars.
The defense denying these claims and is pushing for his release under strict conditions, including a $50 million bond and 24/7 monitoring at a secured Manhattan apartment. There will be a hearing today where both sides will have a chance to clarify exactly how Combs has been connecting with the world outside his jail cell.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, Diddy is stuck in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a facility known for its harsh conditions. Reports describe it as overcrowded, understaffed, and downright dangerous. In fact, just this past summer, an inmate was fatally attacked inside the facility, a grim reminder of how volatile the environment can be. Diddy's legal team has argued that these conditions are inhumane and unfit for someone awaiting trial, but the courts don't seem to be swayed. The judge even pointed out that Diddy's willingness to break jailhouse rules like using unauthorized phone access only reinforces the idea that he can't be trusted to follow the terms of a home confinement order.
Man, I ain't gonna lie.
And while Diddy's team has tried to frame him as a loving father, a philanthropist, and a music legend who's being unfairly targeted, the public isn't exactly rallying behind him. If anything, the court of public opinion seems to have turned against him, especially as more allegations come to light. The recent accusations of coercion, manipulation, and outright violence are hard to ignore, and they've led to a growing sense that Diddy's days as a free man might be numbered.
Oh, man, I just had like a 3.5 hour cry.
But here's the thing, this case isn't just about Diddy, it's about what he represents. For years, he was seen as one of the ultimate success stories in the entertainment industry. He went from being an ambitious young entrepreneur to one of the most powerful figures in music, fashion, and business. He built an empire, became a billionaire, and seemed to have it all. But now, that empire is crumbling, and the world is starting to question how much of his success was built on the backs of others, people who might have been hurt, silenced, or taken advantage of along the way. And that's why this case feels so much bigger than just one man. It's a reckoning for an industry that has long thrived on secrecy, power imbalances, and a culture of looking the other way. Diddy's downfall, if it happens, could be the tip of the iceberg, exposing not just his own alleged wrongdoing, but also the systemic issues that allowed it to continue unchecked for so long. And as the investigation continues, you can bet that more names will come out, more stories will be told, and more people will have to answer for their actions or their silence. So where does this leave us? For now, Diddy remains behind bars, his legal team scrambling to find a way to secure his release while prosecutors continue to build their case. The trial is set to begin next year, and it promises to be a spectacle unlike anything we've seen before. The question is, will Diddy fight this to the bitter end, or will he cut a deal to save himself? And if he does name names, who will be the next to fall? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.